So, welcome to the masterclass. Now, if you've made it this far, I just want to congratulate you on taking action. If you want to go from where you are now to being a six-figure barber and earning £1,000 in one day, the person that you are now has to make some changes. And it all begins with getting a plan together and getting to work. Now it's crunch time. This is where it really matters. When I came out of jail, I wanted to bring something new to the industry, as there's a lot of guys teaching how to cut hair, how to fade, and going into depth about tutorials and so forth, but I felt like something was missing. I started off by giving out free haircuts just to get my reps in, just to get my experience. I then developed my skill and I started charging for my haircuts, literally £10, £15 and £20 and so forth. But just how you are, after a long day's work, I was looking at my wages thinking, is this going to make me a six-figure earner? I thought to myself, is there a smarter way of working? This is when I took action and I started treating my business like a business. I realised I have to increase my prices over time for me to not just work hard, but also work smart. I was working in a barber shop on a busy high street. Sometimes we'd be waiting 3-4 hours for a client to walk in. I was surrounded by the team that I was working with, and they were playing games on their phones, Call of Duty, or they were literally watching Netflix and so forth. And you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And it really used to bother me that the people around me were almost waiting for things to change. Me being proactive, I decided to go out into the high street. I started canvassing. I had a cleaning company. I knocked on all the estate agents' doors, all the different businesses and so forth, and things started to pick up. So my routine was wake up at 5 or wake up at 4 in the morning. I would go and clean a restaurant before work. I would get home for 8, get to work for 9. I would cut hair in the shop from 9 until 6 p.m. Then I would go home from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. I will also cut hair. Even that, looking back, if I would have just focused on barbering and getting a mentor and investing in myself, then that would have been the smartest way for me to develop my skill and develop my barbering business. However, there wasn't nothing for me to invest in the industry that I really wanted to do. I took action into my own hands. I started working smarter and harder, and I literally came up with my finances. I looked at my sales and marketing. I came up with a content strategy, and I started posting more and more regular, as well as building my word of mouth client. It then got to a stage where I was so busy with my haircuts that I realised I have to take a job. I have to leave the barber shop. And this at the time was very, very daunting. I had a lot of self-belief, but at work I was earning £2,000 to £3,000 a month, which seemed like and was a lot of money to me at the time. I wouldn't disregard that amount of money because that would pay for my bills and so forth. However, the time that I was spending outside of work, being fully booked of an evening and on the weekends and on my days off, I was earning the same amount of money for half the time. In my mind, when I decided to leave work, I can go from earning 2k at work to 2k at home, and then also with the other hours that I was spending during my 9 to 5, I could then start earning 6 to 8k a month, literally being a 100k barber. That's when it started to seem possible to me. I remember leaving work and taking a pay cut essentially. But if you want to go places in life, you have to go back sometimes to go forward. Now I made a mistake. During that time, when I left work, being very entrepreneurial, I then decided to start an events company. And yet again, almost distract myself with another side hustle instead of just focusing on my bread and butter and my main income. Then I stopped the events company, and that's when I decided yet again to focus on barbering and barbering alone, and focus on my personal brand, get my content strategies in place. Literally, I've been cutting hair for over 10 years now. All of my mistakes, all of my experience is literally in this blueprint, packaged all together so that you could just go from A to B and cutting out all of the fluff. I decided to go all in on barbering and become a high ticket barber. People told me charging £50 for a haircut and beard wasn't possible, and I've made it happen. My average spend is now £45. I charge £40 for the haircut, £50 for the haircut and beard, and I'll show you the maths on it. £1,000 in one day divided by 45, which is my average spend, is 22 haircuts. So if you do 2 busy days a week, that's a 6-figure barbering business working for yourself. I focused, I mastered my blueprint, and now I only work Thursday, Friday and Saturday cutting hair, giving me Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday to focus on my blueprint and working with you guys. I'm now at a stage where I've done enough haircuts over the years. I've really enjoyed myself. I've made decent money, but now I'm going to coach you guys. I'm going to teach you everything that I know, from cutting hair with scissor cuts down to here, going into mid-length, short length. We're going to cover 10 haircuts on the modules. Then we're going to go into fades and so forth. We're going to cover beard trims as well, taper fades. Every single haircut that you see me do, as well as the famous sweep back that's going crazy at the moment, I'm going to teach you how to do that technically, and also how to run a business analytically, including or going into detail about your finances. Now, as a barber, if you work in a 9-to-5 barbering shop, they don't teach you how to run your own finances, how to run your own sales and marketing, how to run your own content strategy. A lot of these walk-in barbers don't even tell you to market yourself, because they want you to be in a trap. They want you to be standing there 24/7 paying off their mortgage. I've been there myself, and I know what these small business people are like. What we're going to do is set your goals for 2025, come up with a personalized game plan for you, and then we're literally going to attack the game plan. I'm going to hold you accountable personally myself with in-person training, one-to-ones, and check-ins throughout the week, just to make sure that you're on track. Now, the next step after this video is to book in a call with me via my Calendly link. My energy and my time is very important and non-refundable. I'm only looking to work with people that are very serious about going from A to B, very serious about changing their life. If it's not you and you're a time waster, you might as well just stop here and forget about it. If you are serious, then we can work together and we can get results. We are results focus driven. This year could be the year that changes your life and your family's life forever.